new episode of Formula Pod. And today we're talking all about the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at the Baku City Circuit. Like, what a chaotic race, qualifying wise and race wise, was just insane. But like, yeah, joining me today, it's not the usual crew from Formula Pod. It's Nyla from the F1 Club UAE joining me. So, hi Nyla, how's it going? And welcome back to the show.
Hi, Arjun. Thank you for having me. Good to be back.
Let's kick this off with your thoughts. What was your thoughts about the Azerbaijan Grand Prix?
I liked it. I think it's my favorite race that we've had so far after summer break, other than maybe the Dutch Grand Prix.
Amazing. So let's kick off with the qualifying part of this particular race, as this was a very long qualifying. As in, I just lost my track of time sitting and looking. I'm like, why is this so slow? And the amount of red flags like was just like out of the world. But like, yeah, was it like say longer than the race or something?
Yeah. I read somewhere that the entire quali session was actually longer than Monza, the actual race.
Wow.
Yes.
No, I know the amount of time which I was sitting and watching, and I was like, why it's taking so long? Because we had crashes. In fact, not one, not two. Like we had like quite a plentiful when it came when about say crashes. Because Q1, like the streak kicked off, say with Alex Albon, Nico Hulkenberg, and then Oliver Behrman, Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, and who am I missing? I'm missing someone. Was it, like Esteban Ocon?
I
Am
think
I?
so. I do feel like a Haas was involved.
No, I know Oliver Behrman was involved. I don't know whether both the Haas's were involved.
I did miss a bit of quali because I felt like every time I sit down, there's a red flag. So then I'd get up, find
You must have
something to do,
you.
and come back to yet
I
another
I
one.
I think you must have just felt like, you know what, I just can't keep up with this because it's just that you can't kind of do anything about it.
Yeah, and it feels like, okay, I'm putting time aside in my evening, but I don't expect it to be longer than an hour. And then it's just red
Exactly.
flag after red
Oh,
flag.
well, the third red flag in Q1 was Franco Colapinto. We always forget about the Alpines. They exist.
Yes. To be fair, I feel like the Alpines forget about the Alpines.
Oh, absolutely, because especially like during qualifying, the kind of nonsense Franco Colapinto pulled up. Pierre Gasly just overran, didn't
Yeah.
crash, and then he's like, you know what? Oh shit! What do you call my teammate is right there? Let me also crash.
He had a bit of FOMO. I'm not sure how to feel about Franco at this point anymore either, to be honest.
You know, compared to how he performed the previous year when he was at like when he showed that sudden surge of performance, and then all of a sudden, like he's basically falling through like a rabbit hole.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could put a little bit of it down to the fact that he was in a Williams and now he's in an Alpine. And of course, the Williams is not a shitbox and the Alpine is. But
Okay.
I don't know. I feel like he didn't quite live up to the hype.
Nah, I will 100% agree with that. Like I think, or his hype was there. It was just short-lived hype,
Yeah.
being like, oh, another driver from not from like South America who's just there.
Yes.
But then it's just that what we expected. Oh, Franco Colapinto, blah blah blah. Like it's just. I feel it's just hype.
Yeah. Or maybe it's because he
Or
came after Sargent, so he just looked better in comparison automatically.
and what's the situation right now? I think Sargent would still crash cars, but then
Of course, yeah.
Ocon, sorry, not Ocon, Franco Colapinto is not any different. He does the same, probably like with a lesser crash bill.
Yeah.
I would keep it there.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
the thing is, even with Alpine, like, I'm not really sure what his future is in Alpine. I don't know what Flavio Briatore's plans are for him. I just know that usually when it's that guy involved, nothing good happens.
well, I know one part. It's just that he's fighting for his seat with
Mm-hmm.
Paul Aaron next year, so he needs to perform. If he doesn't perform, Paul
Yeah,
Aaron makes the cut because he's been waiting for quite some time, and I feel like
true.
and especially like next year Mercedes engine coming instead of an Renault engine,
Mm-hmm.
so things can spice up, especially with the 2026 regulations. They say Mercedes has got a bigger advantage, a better advantage.
There's been a lot of rumors, but to be fair, I don't know if I trust any rumors regarding Mercedes and regulations after 2022. So I guess, yeah,
No, I
I guess
feel
we don't
no,
know
I
until we
feel
know.
no, I feel like with the next year's cars, it's a lot more on the engine than the aero.
Yeah, yeah, it's more engine based than
But
aero.
so it's just that because I know Mercedes engine wise, they do a pretty solid job because the aero department is crap. Like, like,
Yes.
like I am sorry to call it out loud, but then like it is crap.
Oh, we've been, yeah. I mean, since 2022, there's really no other word to describe it. How
Like
do you spend 2 years on
zero pod
the
side
wrong
pod.
concept? Yes.
Like, bro, come on, like. We love you as a team, but Toto, come on, there is like a red line to this.
Yeah, I do think that the whole like, oh, we have a no blame culture thing didn't really work out for them because sometimes you really just need to find out who's causing the problem.
Well, they actually brought in what do you call um
Vowels.
not
Not
Wells.
vowels, Allison. Yeah, they're both
Yeah,
James.
James
Jameses.
Allison. My God, I'm
Yeah.
forgetting names. Uh,
Yeah. uh,
but he did some job. Not saying that he didn't do a job. He did some job and got some podiums and some
true,
wins.
but it's always easier to build something from scratch than to fix something that already exists.
Exactly. But like, yeah, let's come back to the qualifying.
Mhm.
I would like to give a special shout out to Ferrari for messing it up again, back again, again.
I feel like whenever they have a good car, they just somehow like the universe balances it with like the worst luck possible. Like at some point, you have to wonder: does somebody have a voodoo doll of these guys that they just keep stabbing,
No,
or
I feel
is it some kind of generational Italian curse that's not going away? Do they
no.
need an exorcism? Does the Pope need to get involved? I don't know what's happening here.
I feel like all over Italy, like they should like do like a group prayer so that Ferrari gets a 1-2.
Prayer is not going to cut it. We need an exorcism. We need the Pope on the phone now.
Again, people at Maranello hearing this, please make a suggestion because clearly whatever you guys are doing are not working.
I will show up there and I will start breaking spaghetti in front of them. Emotional terrorism until they fix this. What is this?
Yeah, because even when you look pace wise, um, Ferrari were like 0.59 seconds off per lap, and during practice they were just looking like they can't fight. Q2, the mess up. Though
Yeah,
my only
that's what
concern
I
is
mean, right? Like the bad luck. Because Lewis said he feels like he could have fought for pole, and then Charles touches the wall. You get your double yellows. He can't finish his Q2 run because there's not enough time. I don't. I think he maybe didn't have enough fuel, and you're like, okay, at least one Ferrari is through into Q3. Moments later, Leclerc crashes into
I
the
am
wall.
stupid. I am
Yes.
stupid. And again, he did this in the past.
Yep.
Like,
Wasn't that Paul Ricard in France where the whole I am stupid comes from?
no, it's Azerbaijan.
It was Azerbaijan.
Yeah, it's not from Paul Ricard. It's
Oh no
Azerbaijan.
no no! Paul Ricard had another radio. I think the one where he was just yelling. He's not beating the allegations at this point. He's not.
He's just telling like, guys, listen, I've got a pattern. You got to see that. I've got a
Yeah, that's
pattern,
what
and that's it.
therapy's for. Break your patterns. Deal with whatever Ferrari-induced depression you have. I feel like somebody get Fred on the phone. You need a team therapist at this point. You need one guy on retainer for Charles, one for Lewis. Look at their self-esteem.
Absolutely, big time. Because I'm just what you call from again from a FP1 1-2 to what do you call 12 and 8.
Hmm.
Absolutely. I again, if I sit and talk about this, it's going to be like I have to just kind of put like the episode title Ferrari therapy.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can't say that the pace wasn't there. They had pace. I remember there were a few points in the race where it felt like Lewis could overtake Lando. I mean, he didn't, but he was getting pretty close. And then I don't know. I mean, it's Baku, right? It's a street circuit. It doesn't matter. At some point, you could have all the pace in the world, but again, it's a street circuit. Overtaking's not easy.
Absolutely, absolutely. But like coming to leaving Ferrari, because we sit and talk about Ferrari. It's just that
Oh, that's never
I'm
ending. Yeah.
I'm I'm basically wasting a lot of time. Mercedes, I got to give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Just outside that top three, still they were like, you know what? If someone manages to go back with just there, ready to kind of step in, and George Russell exactly did that.
Always him. You
It,
know.
no, like I always say this every episode. George Russell needs to be nicknamed the Fall Guy because he
I
is
don't
the
know how
Fall
it
Guy.
happened. He's literally every time he's in the perfect position to take the podium if something happens. Literally does nothing and he finishes there.
No, I don't know if you've watched what do you call Brooklyn Nine-Nine, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
In
have.
in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, there's the character the Vulture.
Yes.
I just I just personally feel George Russell is just that at this rate.
That's a hilarious comparison. Because now I'm
No,
just imagining him behaving that way as well.
no, like he's just there, perfect moment. Just go grabs it off. You know what? Okay, you know what?
Yep.
I'm done. I'm good.
Comes in last moment and it's his.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like this time again, Kimi Antonelli out qualified, which is amazing. And
Yes.
Kimi Antonelli he did have the speed to kind of really pick it up. But then
Kimmy's gotten better.
Kimi has improved, I would say. Like
Hmm.
compare, I think after getting all that very bad results from Italy, I think it's just that he's got his head right at the right direction and just being like, okay, now I got to
Yeah.
focus.
I also feel like, unfortunately, a lot of this was stuff that could have been predicted because, again, he's very young. He hasn't had much time in feeder series.
Yeah,
So I did feel bad for him, though. I feel like it was
yeah,
kind of a knock on his confidence for a while.
yeah. But we got to give it to Williams,
Oh, yeah.
Carlos
Oh,
Sainz.
yeah.
Again, he
Yes.
single-handedly lifted that team for the very first time. Because always we used to say, oh, Alex Albon was the one who has been lifting the team.
Yeah.
Because when you look into the points, also out of the 101 points, 70 points were a contribution of Alex Albon.
Hmm.
And this one race just kind of sweetened the deal like anything that I'm pretty sure Alex Albon would have started to feel threatened, being like, I didn't get that podium. He got it.
I do feel a bit bad. I feel like it should have been Alex's. I mean, I know it's not about who deserves what, but
Yeah,
he's had a big hand in building this team, getting it to this point. So I'm hoping that there's something good in store for him soon as well, because it really is his contribution that made the car what it is right now. That
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking away from Carlos because it takes skill to first get the car there, and then to keep it there until the end of the race.
Yeah. No,
But the
absolutely.
reason
And
the car is that good is because of Alex.
yeah, and also I feel like their strategy team played a good part in terms of sending the car
Hmm.
right before rain, just so that Carlos can put his best shot and get that lap time secured.
Yes. Vowels is really good as a team principal. Like everything that he learned from Mercedes, he's applying to Williams, and we're seeing the results.
And you like realize this, the guy
Mm.
is bloody good at math. He and you have like a principal strategist of a world championship team being
Mm-hmm.
your team principal. Before the team principal, he was a strategist, and
Yep.
he can calculate it on the job and kind of get it like being like, oh, listen, why not we do it this way and work it out. And as far as Carlos is concerned, he just needs the car, he will do the job.
Mm-hmm.
That is very clear right now, because a Ferrari also he did the same bit. Now at Williams also he did the same part.
It's funny though that the opposite thing works for him in Ferrari versus Williams, because Ferrari he was doing well because he was ignoring the strategists, and Williams he's doing well because he's listening to them.
No, because Williams he know that
Because Williams
James Wells
strategists
is,
make sense.
yeah, James Wells himself is a strategist, and he would not kind of tell to just mess it up.
Of course, yeah.
He only used to tell Valtteri to kind of slow down, abort fast laps, despite being like Valtteri being still making that fast lap.
Yeah, speaking of Valtteri, I'm kind of glad he's gonna be back. I missed him.
Actually, Valtteri was very close to getting onto the car because George Russell was actually diagnosed
Yeah,
with
he was
a
sick.
breathing issue,
Mm-hmm.
and he was near to there that we could see Valtteri at a Mercedes car fighting. That would have
Uh
like imagine Valtteri. qualifying like in that top 10, and he manages to secure a podium.
I think I might have cried actually if that had happened.
Like I like like how Nico Hulkenberg got podium at Silverstone.
Yes.
I would have that same feeling.
Yes, because we've seen Valtteri just kind of suffer for a while, to be honest.
Like the
Alpha wasn't great.
first year Alfa
Sauber
Romeo was
was.
okay.
Hmm.
From the second year, like the second year of Alpha and the first year at Kick Sauber
Yep.
was just disaster altogether.
Yes, and then the way that him and Guan Yu got dropped like so late in the season without any warning, too late for them to like get any other seat.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that he's getting a comeback with Cadillac. I think they made a good choice to go with two experienced drivers. So I'm glad that we're gonna have him back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got to even kind of give it a bit for our dear nice friend Lance Stroll. He at least is one of those drivers who hasn't DNF'd yet. But
Yes.
but out of the points.
I mean,
Now we've got the full grid, at least one race without
mhm,
points. Because before it was between Lewis Hamilton and Oscar Piastri.
yeah,
Lewis messed it up, and Oscar clearly messed it up again. So,
yeah. He had FOMO as well. He was like, yeah, okay, now I guess none of us get any kind of streak.
like, yeah, it's just that drivers are just like, okay, if I want to kind of set streaks this year, clearly not the year for me to do that.
Yep.
Because,
Although I do hope that Lewis's bad luck comes to an end at some point because it feels like every time he has a car that can get it to the podium, something or the other ends up happening. And I mean, obviously, it's not fun to watch,
yeah,
but then at the same time, the narratives around it are also kind of getting annoying.
big time, to be very
Yeah.
honest. Like, again, because already now the narrative is there that, oh, Carlos Sainz got his podium in Williams before Lewis Hamilton got
Mm,
his. And Lewis Hamilton now is is the driver with the most amount of no podiums in
for
Ferrari.
Ferrari, yeah. I
So,
just,
yeah,
again, like, I don't understand why they went the direction they did with the car in the last year of the regulations. Literally, the only silver lining I can see is that it's the last year of the regulations, so we're not stuck with it.
of course. Like
Yeah.
I come to what do you call? I just want this. We are at like race 17, race 18 going to Singapore, and again it'll just get done in like what 6 races, and then we are done for the
Yeah.
season. I just want to get rid of this car.
And this season feels like it's been going on forever.
The one thing is that drivers are very close now,
Mm,
and it is really making it exciting. But at the same time, again, you've still got that dominant teams. We still have that situation where that one team is actually like getting that 1-2 continuously.
mm-hmm.
It's not the fact that, oh, these teams have got a 1-2, or like McLaren always managed to stay on the podium, and this is the first time that it is a non-McLaren podium coming up
Mm-hmm.
the season. So it's just I've got my reservations to it.
Yeah.
Even
Uh,
though even though people will say, oh, when Mercedes was doing this, you didn't have any issues with that. Clearly, no, of course not.
I
But
mean, we do have to have some level of being subjective in sports. Obviously, no one's upset when their favorite's doing it.
no, of course. See, at least that back then, Sebastian Vettel and
Yeah.
Ferrari were there. They
There
were
was a
giving a decent
challenge.
car.
Mm-hmm.
There was a decent car, and there was a challenge between the two heroes doing their bits.
And they
But
went back and forth, so you really didn't know which one of them was gonna get it
exactly,
right up till the end.
exactly. But then it's just that what do you call? I just feel right now because back in the day when Mercedes were dominating, occasionally we used to see Valtteri Bottas there. It's not that Valtteri was
Mm-hmm.
always there on the podium, but occasionally he was there. Which is fine for me as long as concerned. He did his job as a second driver
And
amazingly
he
well.
was incredibly consistent.
Yeah,
Mhm.
bro, at least made it to Q3 all his career with Mercedes.
Yes, his Q3 streak is longer than Red Bull's as a team.
Of course, big time, big time, big time. But coming down to the race part,
Mm-hmm.
let's again revisit George Russell, our fall
Yeah.
guy, our very nice fall guy.
Mm-hmm.
How are you able to do this?
Every time, every time.
Like,
Literally, it's become a meme at this point. Does nothing, gets on the podium.
like, like certain, like, there's that saying that be at the right place at the right time.
Yes.
He's just mastered it.
Because we see him doing nothing all race. Like, you don't see any exciting overtakes, you don't see anything happening. And then the race ends and he's there on the podium. How did he get there?
Again, this got to be probably like a research paper of its own, to be very honest,
Yes.
because clearly is not. This is not what I expected.
I
But
mean, he is a consistent driver. I'll give him that. The fact that he got P2 while he was so sick. But at the same time, again, like, we don't see anything happening all race vis-a-vis George, or maybe they just don't show it on the broadcast. And then suddenly it's the last lap and he's in a podium position.
yeah, then again, because clearly I thought Sainz would still keep that P2 position.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, when you look from a perspective of pace, and as I said this earlier, it's just that race pace wise, Red Bull was the quickest. Mercedes was just 0.15 seconds slower compared to Red Bull. Williams was 0.38, McLaren was 0.55, Ferrari was 0.59, V Carbs were 0.60, Haas was 1.1, Sauber was 1.2, Aston was 1.24, and Alpine was 1.92. Alpine is roughly
Yeah, Alpine.
2 seconds slower than Red Bull.
I don't know what's happening over there. They've become the new Haas or the new Racing Bulls or
Like I remember, like in our previous episodes, Mihir used to call Haas like a plastic car.
yes.
I'm
Actually, I
like,
would say they've become the new Kick Sauber.
no, Kick Sauber was messy with its pit stops last year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, again, they've improved that part. I think this is a combination of so much messy teams.
This is what
If you look
happens
at
when
it,
you let Briatore come back and run a team. And also, Alpine's been in shambles for a few years. There have been so many
like
like reports of
Alpine's
management changing and
exactly
yeah.
like they don't have that sort of consistency at the helm.
I'm glad
Even
Ocon got out of that mess, to be honest.
it tried to be the quintessentially French team,
Yeah.
and all the missions just didn't work properly. That say they had to bring Briatore back, and now Briatore is doing his own sweet thing.
Briatoriness.
Yeah, he's Briatoreing the Alpining, if you call
uh,
that. If you call that, yeah, like literally, I don't know what's happening with that team, but good luck for them. I would say next year they're moving with the Mercedes power unit. I just don't understand how on earth Pierre Gasly is re-signing with them again for 3 years.
till 2028. Maybe he knows something we don't about these power units and Alpine's development.
Like, bro, like, are you scoring points? No,
Are you doing anything? No.
no,
Maybe he just figures this is the best he's gonna get, but then that's just a really sad way to think.
no. Like, I feel sorry for him. Like, he's in the 16th position
Yes,
in the championship
and the worst
with
part
just
is he's
20
not a bad
points.
driver. It's just he's in an Alpine, so it doesn't reflect what he's really like.
Exactly. But I got to move from Alpine and go back to Red Bull. Not
Hmm.
Max Verstappen, Yuki Tsunoda.
Yes.
First time he gets some considerable amount of points.
You know, I'm not saying that this has anything to do with it, but I'm not saying it either that he's been doing a lot better since Horner left and we got Mickey's.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like again, if you look at it, he was P6. That's
Mm-hmm.
8 points.
And I mean, I never felt like Yuki was with the problem there because we've seen that it's just the Red Bull second car in general. But the drastic improvement the moment management changed is it's notable.
Like yeah, I feel like Mekis is just kind of working his charm out, being like, okay, I got to stay in this position for long, so let
Mm-hmm.
me kind of start favoring the other way around, and he probably will become that sort of media friendly person, being like, oh, you know what,
The
this
one sane
guy,
person in Red Bull.
exactly the one guy who can actually kind of lead that charge and then give Yuki a comfortable car for him to drive.
Yep. Plus, he's worked directly with Yuki before when Yuki was in Alpha
We
Tauri, Racing Bulls, etc., etc. So, yeah, I forget how many titles they have at this point. Names, I mean. They don't have any actual real titles. But I feel like he's trying to keep things a bit more equitable in the team now,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
which leads you to wonder what the situation was before.
As in, it is very in broad daylight. It's very evident
Hmm.
what's happening, what happened back then, and what's happening right now.
Yes. I mean, you're always going to have people. I've noticed this, especially from a lot of Max fans, which I kind of get. Like, you obviously want to defend your favorite. a lot of them say things like, "Oh, there's no like concept of the car being built according to one person." I mean, I'm pretty sure we discussed this the last time as well. I feel like Red Bull is the one team that does actually build a car according to Max, and then with the second guy, they're like, "Yeah, good luck. Adjust if you can. If you can't, we've
No,
got a whole line of people
I
waiting."
feel on that McLaren is very equitable to their drivers.
McLaren's very equitable. I feel like Ferrari's relatively like, especially with Lewis now catching up to Charles, he's not too much off Charles's times.
But Lewis has demanded changes. Lewis is like, there are changes which I need to do, and Lewis has demanded that, being like, okay, I can't kind of,
Hmm.
I would perform, but if I need to perform, I need these changes to be implemented. If I don't
Honestly,
get
I
that,
feel
then
like
they're not
that
fine.
makes sense. Why are you gonna hire a champion with that much experience if you are not interested in what he has to say?
Absolutely. So like I would even say that, and in fact, what do you call Mercedes used to? I don't know what's the case right now,
Hmm.
but based on my knowledge, I'm pretty sure the car is kept on an equitable scale itself. It's just that Kimi is taking time to kind of understand.
Yes, a lot of it can be put down to the fact that Kimi's 18 and George has had time in this car. Kimi hasn't.
Like George came from a shitbox to a pro car
Yes, yes,
compared
he's
to
yeah,
like, because you learn driving from a Nissan Sunny and then later on take the
yeah,
Mercedes. Versus
exactly.
versus with Kimi's case, he's learning to drive in a Mercedes.
It's actually quite rare that we see any rookie join a top team and hit the ground running. I think the only case I can think of in recent years was Oscar. And it
Like,
wasn't a top team when he joined. It was a shitbox.
yeah, I gotta give that. Like Alpine was better then, but
Yeah.
but like yeah, as in people switch places. I would just keep it there. But
Mm-hmm.
moving along, like even say with weak couples, a good performance coming up from them, like with both the cars
They've been
qualifying,
so good.
like they are really kind of keeping that competition to what do you call Williams, because if you look by standings wise, also Racing Bulls is just like 31 points away from Williams in the standings.
Which is quite good actually. I feel like they've got well, one solid driver in Liam Lawson, but Hajar's been really good. His podium definitely helped. And I'm happy, honestly, to see him doing well. I just hope that they don't demote him to Red Bull, but it's looking likely, unfortunately.
I feel like again I'm gonna just observe a couple more races with Red Bull
Hmm.
and kind of see how that Mekki's effect is kind of helping the second driver to kind of get to that position. Because
True.
clearly we know with Yuki, again, it depends. Everything depends on Mr. Dr. Helmut Marko, the old guy,
Hmm.
because it's the old guy's call, which the Austrians will pick. And if
Yeah.
he says Yuki get out, he'll have to get out.
Yeah. Which is why, like, I don't know. I say put Lawson back in the car that Hajar and Yuki have a good time in V Carb. They'd be happier for sure.
I'm pretty sure by now Yuki felt what it feels driving a Red Bull, and now he's like, okay, either I'm happy right over here, or it's just that you know what, I can just go back and work for another team.
Yeah,
But
but then assuming that V Carb has their like, how would that even work? Do you think they'd swap out Hajar for Sonoda?
it's Red Bull. Come on, they are known to do the most vulgarist things possible. Vulgarist, my God, I'm making words now. The most vulgar things possible when it comes to driver swaps.
Illogical stuff, yeah. Also, I don't know if you heard there. I'm pretty sure Arvind Lindblad got a super license. He's
Yes,
even younger than Kimmy, yeah. But they used Kimmy's
absolutely.
case as precedent, and he has a super license now. And last I heard, Red Bull were priming him to be the
The
next
weak part,
Max.
I know, I know. As but again, I don't know how much because to be very honest, I feel with the past couple of seasons or with the rookies, they hype too much, and it's just that they're not kind of living to the hype.
Yeah,
You know,
I,
because Kimi was still, oh, he's gonna do this, oh, he's gonna do that, he's the next Max Verstappen. What we saw, and what is he coming up to?
to be fair, I think it was very predictable that he wouldn't be the next Max Verstappen. I think Toto was the only one who was behaving that way. And from his perspective, it makes sense because you want to talk up the rookie that you're replacing your 7-time champion with.
Yeah,
You don't
absolutely.
want to make it look like you made a mistake in letting him go. So obviously, whoever comes next must be better, right? For it to make sense.
Big time, absolutely. In fact, what you call with I think in that one, Hajar wasn't given that hype. That's why
Hmm.
he was able to perform the way how he did.
He didn't have that level of pressure, I feel.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. So it's just that Lawson had that,
Hmm.
Sonora had that,
I
but
think it's
then
something to do with the vicinity of being in the vicinity of a champion, actually, because anybody who replaced Lewis was always going to have some level of pressure on them of being supposedly good enough to replace Lewis Hamilton. And then when you come out and it's some 18-year-old wunderkind and you're like, oh yeah, he is the guy, he's going to be better than Lewis, he's going to be better than Max. It is a lot of pressure for an 18-year-old. It's crazy, actually. I don't see how anybody thought this was going to go any other way.
no, absolutely. In fact, you specifically saying this, George Russell's contract is not being what do you call?
It's
I
being
don't know
dragged
what
out, isn't it?
it's got so much dragging exactly because George wants a longer contract because
Mm-hmm.
he's seen what's happened to Lewis.
It,
Okay.
it is the smart thing to hold out for a longer contract, but that's the thing, right? Like, I think now they're gonna have no choice, especially since Max has continued on with Red Bull.
Well, I'm pretty sure if Max is available in the market, Toto will tear off that contract and be like, you know what, get out.
Who's George?
Who's exactly?
Which, and I say this as somebody who normally, I'm not exactly a George fan, but the entire situation does have me feeling a little bit bad for him.
Yeah,
Like, you come into a team thinking, okay, Hamilton wins his eighth championship, he's gonna leave, and then the team is yours, except, all of that happened. Hamilton's not leaving, he's not going anywhere. You have 2 or 3 years, you're still like fighting to be taken seriously in the team. And then when Hamilton finally goes to Ferrari, you figure, okay, now's my chance. Maybe I get to be the number one driver now. Because with Hamilton and George, it wasn't really until the end. It became a bit clearer when Hamilton was leaving, but it wasn't clear cut before then. And now
yeah,
suddenly he's being replaced by some 18-year-old that your Toto won't shut up about. And then in the next moment, it's like, oh yeah, we'll sign Max in a heartbeat. Well, who would he replace? Not obviously not the 18-year-old kid that he hyped up so much.
yeah. I feel say with George, if George is thrown out, I'm very sure Red Bull will come for him.
I actually would not be surprised at all. I did hear a lot that they were in talks. I was actually expecting, like, not expecting, but a Red Bull and Mercedes swap would not have surprised me, Max for George.
I wouldn't mind that, to be very honest.
I think Kimi might mind that. I don't think he's going to be very happy being compared to Max Verstappen. His confidence already not great.
I think yeah, got it, got it, got
Yeah.
it, got to give it to him.
Yeah. George and Max in
But
the same team would have been hilarious, though. Can you imagine the team radios?
This- last year's, I think it's last year's Azerbaijan itself, where like Max called George Princess.
Yes. Yes, I think it was then. And the fight that they had towards the end of the season, like
Exactly.
after that.
Like it's insane. But when you're looking from a wider angle, it's just that with the teams now coming closer, and I feel like what you call even from a perspective of say from a racing perspective, I feel
Mhm.
I feel it's getting a lot better.
It's getting interesting because it feels like there's other teams in the mix other than the usual guys that we see. And at the same time, I feel like McLaren are once again at that stage where it's like you should have had the championship locked down by now. So it's kind of embarrassing that you don't. Why are we still like considering the fact that
I
Max
think
might be in
I think they've
contention?
got time. I think they've got a bit more time. They
They
as in
do,
the
but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of fumbling going on. Like Lando's pit stops, their team orders never make sense.
Papaya Rules is an episode of its own.
Yes. I feel like once again, this is their championship to lose. Last year, it feels like they essentially handed it to Max. It would be a
Yeah.
mistake to do the same thing.
And you realize that now McLaren has got owners from the Middle East.
They
McLaren is
always
now
have had. The
so
Bahraini Sovereign Fund has always
no,
owned a
so
part in
now the
McLaren.
UAE has a part of it.
Oh, I did not know that.
So last year, the UAE holding company called CVYN
Mm-hmm.
Holdings, they actually took bought a stake, and now they have a controlling stake on the racing team.
Interesting.
So essentially, McLaren is half Bahraini and half Emirati.
Maybe in that case, it makes cinematic sense to have them bring the fight down to Abu Dhabi.
Exactly.
Yeah. I did feel like they were trying to go for that, like some Abu Dhabi photo finish with Lando and Oscar, because A lot of the times it felt like they're trying to drag it out, take it to the last race, the way it was in 2016, which was, I think, the last time that we had a proper inter-team battle.
Yeah, again, because 2020 was not in. No, it is intra team.
Inter-team, right, sorry,
Inter
yeah.
team in 2016 and 2020 was an inter team. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Because
technicality.
even with the Lewis and Nico Rosberg, with everything that happened, everything that went on this season, it still came down to the last few laps in Abu Dhabi.
Well, it's whether you get it or not get it. That's sort of a thing. Because every time people say, "Oh, McLaren won," then the next year it's going to be Ferrari's year. Ferrari's year. When is
Ah.
that?
See, I would have said that they're like Liverpool fans constantly going like next year's our year, but Liverpool's actually winning now.
Again, then in a random question, if Liverpool is winning this year, would Ferrari win next year?
Yes, please. Yes. I don't know how many more next time I have left in me.
I feel like Ferrari fans must have like what do you call an association called Ferrari Therapy Club or something.
I think if you've been a Ferrari fan for longer than I don't know 6 months, 1 year, you are entitled to compensation and free therapy for the rest of your life.
Okay. I got it. Again, I'm not 6 months down in, but like yeah, looking forward to hitting that 6 month mark.
Yeah. But then I also feel like on a serious note, jokes aside and everything, Ferrari showed promise last year. The fact that the constructors fight went down again to Abu Dhabi and the car was improving. They had wins at tracks that felt like fairy tales like Monaco and Monza. So
Exactly.
comparing that to what's going on this year, and again I feel like you know the thing we discussed about the narratives around Hamilton and everything, I feel like that's another aspect that maybe people don't consider as much.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's really easy to say that Hamilton's not doing well or that science was better when the fact is they were driving two completely different cars.
Exactly. No, and I'm very hope. Again, I got to be very hopeful about Singapore. One
I'm trying so hard.
because the year Red Bull never won every race. The
Mm-hmm.
only race they lost was Singapore. That to Ferrari.
Yes.
And Ferrari, what do you call Singapore is a very special track for Hamilton because if I don't know which I don't know which year is it, but then in one of the years he actually beat the simulated time.
Yes, he did. I think this was 2019.
Yeah, like when the
I
car
have
was
seen
so
the onboards of that lap. It was
exactly
beautiful.
it gives me goosebumps every time I sit and watch that.
Oh my god, amazing.
Like
Like to beat a computer simulation is
big time, absolutely big time. You know, but again, I'm just building up some hope.
I'm trying, but the thing is with Ferrari, I'm at that stage where it's like I want to be optimistic, but I don't want to get my hopes up too high because then it just pisses me off when they do something stupid. But the funny thing is, and like the complete spectrum of emotions that you feel as an F1 fan. My sister's a McLaren fan and she's still not
Okay.
happy. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, she's a Lando fan, which might explain some of why she's not very happy.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
you know, because she has to deal with things like papaya rules and the 3 4 second pit stops or whatever it is that they've got going on.
Yeah, but you like it again. I don't know if there's like some sort of a controversy, but I'm going to kind of sting in right now.
Hmm.
But if you notice, Oscar Piastri's pit stops are like near to perfect,
Yes, it's
and you've
surprising.
got Lando's pit stops as a screw up,
Consistently long, consistently messy.
and it's not like that first set of pit stop. The very last pit stop required
Hmm.
just so that that last lap of driving can be done. That exact moment, these guys just screw it up.
And I don't know what's going on because McLaren has had some really good, I think, sub 2 second pit stops in the past.
Yeah, like
We know they can
they
do it.
have the fastest one. They have a
Hmm.
1.9, but that 1.9, guess who it was made with? Oscar
Oscar. Yeah.
Oscar Piastri. So it you again. I'm very confused. I don't even know what to even call that.
That's the thing. I feel like the pit stops tend to favor Oscar while the race strategies tend to favor Lando, so I'm not really sure what they're going for.
But if you look at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, the
Hmm.
fastest pit stop was 2.14, done by the OG Red Bulls. In
Okay.
fact, the first, second, third, and fourth is shared between Red Bull and Racing Bulls.
Interesting.
So it says like 2.14 Sonoda, 2.19 Lawson, 2.22 Verstappen, 2.24 Hadja. and then you got 2.26 Hamilton.
Ferrari's pit stops have been pretty good.
That's the only part they're consistent.
Yes, but even Red Bull, like, don't they hold a record for the fastest pit stop ever? 1 point something?
1.8
I want
something
to
it
say
is.
1.8.
Yeah, it's something. It's in
Mm-hmm.
that 1.8. But again, that was once in a blue moon.
Fair enough, yeah.
It's not
But
like it's
they've been good with pit stops overall. Like, I don't remember the last time Red Bull screwed up a pit stop. I think it was Max maybe a few races ago, but I don't remember the specific incident.
well, at least at this rate, they're just existing. They're existing,
Yeah.
and it's just that they're in a decent place. They can just finish third in the championship and can
Mm-hmm.
do. But with this max uprising and with Singapore, the one part is that Red Bull car is very bad for Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
Max has
Yes.
never won in Singapore.
And hopefully he won't because I
Again,
want
we don't.
somebody else to win.
Exactly. I'm tired of listening to Australian and Dutch national anthems.
Yes. And I'm not a superstitious person, right? But Ferrari has got me superstitious. I don't even want to say it out loud. Because if it doesn't happen,
Yeah, but I'm just like whatever happens, let it happen.
yeah, but I,
I'm
I
just
don't know.
gonna
I
wait.
feel like
I'm just gonna
there's.
wait. What's gonna happen? Like if it happens, it
Yep.
happens. That's it.
Okay, is this just me, or I feel like there's a certain charisma to people like Hamilton or even Verstappen winning that you don't see with McLaren? I don't know what it is. Like they're winning, but I feel nothing.
Again, I feel this is completely out of the blue.
Hmm.
Whenever Ferrari wins, I don't know. Even though I was not a Ferrari fan back then, I get this sort of glow in my face, being like, "Ooh,
Yes.
like Ferrari won."
Because they've got a history, they've got, I mean, so does McLaren, but Ferrari has this kind of like entire legend related to it and
Exactly.
the lore, and also because they're clowns. So when they win, something, somehow the stars aligned and everything went right.
Oh
So,
my god, I'm so praying for a 1-2. Please, just give me
uh,
1-2 somewhere.
I need
Austin.
Hamilton on the podium, and ideally, I need him on the top step.
I just need him to win his 106th race win. Like
Yes.
it needs to happen.
And I need a good car next year. I feel like him winning the eighth in Ferrari would be a fairy tale. He can retire the next day. I'd be okay with that.
Me too.
Like, there's like these two parts of me because one part is like, I need him to win the eighth because the conditions in which he lost it were so unfair. But then another part
Poor
of
thing,
me
he
is,
couldn't just do anything about that. Like again,
exactly, it was
bec-
so out of his control. And then
because he
everything that
won
happened after that.
exactly. And with say with Ferrari, it's the tires are being eaten up. It's not like they found a technology
Yes.
like how McLaren, where like the tire deg is slower.
It's the tire drag, and then when they actually optimize the car for pace, it leads to floor plank wear, which gets them disqualified.
We know that. We know that. Austin.
Yeah, so then you increase the ride height to avoid disqualification, but then the car's suffering, and then when you finally get the car right, somebody stabs a voodoo doll and someone goes into a wall. So
At
a
least,
lot going on.
at least, I just love the part that next year onwards is Venturi tunnels and all those. That thing is just
Yeah.
like off, and
I've
you
heard a lot of people also like, I don't know, because there've been a few articles. I know that they've changed the regulations to sort of give a boost to teams that might not catch up immediately.
that's Alpine. That's strictly put to Alpine.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I guess they're gonna see how everybody's doing. So I do know that they want to kind of like not repeat the mistakes of previous regulations where one car, one team would just be dominant and it kind of got boring. So I do want to see how all of that goes with the
Okay.
regs changes, and I do want to see how much truth there is to the Mercedes power unit being a beast or whatever it is that we're hearing. But
You
the
calling it a
silence from
beast?
Ferrari's part is, I don't know if it's concerning or not.
I don't even know at this rate what they're doing.
I would rather they stayed quiet and made a good car than talked a bit came out with a shitbox like Toto did in 2022. Everybody's got a target on their back. Your car can't go in a straight line without killing its drivers, but okay.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh
It's
my god!
Hamilton got his entire spine reshuffled, and you're saying people have got a target on their backs? What's wrong with you?
Oh my god! Again, I'm just sitting and thinking those Netflix episodes where Toto tells Christian, "Change your fucking car."
I have it printed out. It's embarrassing. He
Bro, grow
behaves like
up.
your drunk uncle at a party.
bro, grow up, grow up. Seriously, just grow up. But like, yeah, I again on a final note before we wrap up, like, yeah,
Mhm.
Williams, I really wish you guys continue this sort of pace, this sort of it. Like, I really, really, really would want to see you guys like finishing the championship on a P5,
Oh, that
leading
would
the
be
mid pack,
lovely.
leading the mid pack, because again, all the teams did, and I think it's high time that Williams kind of gets there. And and again, it would be probably like, what do you call? I wouldn't even call it as rude, but it will probably be a fantasy of me that if Williams are going to outpace Red Bull Racing, but that's not going to happen because there's like
Well, we can
nearly
we
a
can
one.
dream.
There's a 171 point gap.
Yeah, unless they DNF every single race with both Williams drivers on the podium steps, I don't see.
We've got 6 races.
Yeah. I
That
would have liked to see Alex on the podium at some point. I don't, hopefully, maybe next regulation changes. Did you know Haas is the only team that hasn't been on the podium this regulation changes, this regulation period?
no, actually, now I'm
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know, somehow in the next six races, I would really like to see Ocon on the podium. I feel like he's deserved it too.
more than Ocon. I feel Behrman should come up more than Ocon.
Maybe, but I have a soft spot for Ocon, so
Okay. Why the soft spot?
I don't know. I feel like he's had a lot of negative things said about him. I'm not gonna say all of it was false. I feel like some of it was definitely exaggerated. I know that he didn't have a good time in Alpine. I know that they didn't view him as French enough because of the fact that he's got Algerian heritage. And I
What
feel like
really?
yes, his mom is
I
Algerian.
I thought that was Isaac, not Isaac. Isaac Hajar's.
Yes,
Uh,
him too, actually. But yeah, Ocon's got Algerian heritage on his mom's side. So there was a lot
Damn.
of like he wasn't seen as French enough for Alpine. Pierre was more favored in that regard, I feel. And he's mentioned that he feels like he's thriving more at Haas. He feels more supported than he did at Alpine. So I really would like to see that materialize in a more solid way than just vibes, basically.
Well, we got to see how this entire thing turns around. But
Yeah. And
yeah,
Williams has shown us anything's possible.
Williams is just again. He just James Ross just came told guys, listen up. You're gonna give me 5 years. In this 5 years, I'm gonna turn things around away here. You're gonna believe me and just trust me with the process. I'm gonna do it. If you don't like it, leave.
And we're seeing the results.
Yeah. It's just that probably I just feel like Alpine must just get someone who's way too good and then just tell them, okay, just work on our team, ground up.
Hmm.
Whoever you have to fire them. Like as how Fred Vasseur did when he joined, and he whoever he had to kick him out first, he kicked him out.
And I think that's still going on. I'm still hearing reports of them hiring and firing behind the scenes.
Well, again, you
We can hope.
if you want your team to be good, you
Hmm.
got to do a bit of things here and there.
You can't like keep doing the same thing and expect results.
Because, dude, come on, it's so much people at the helm, and what are you getting out of it? Nothing. They're getting their paychecks on
Hmm.
time. At the best, that's it. Nothing more than that.
But you know, at a certain point, if you're not delivering results, every sponsor that's pouring their money into your team is gonna ask what's happening here.
I'm not surprised when that question will come up because at the moment it's just that those sponsors are looking this more like, oh, we've got an advertisement which is going
Hmm.
on that fast going car. That's it. So I'm not going to be surprised that that question will arise. But if it arises, we know what's going to happen.
Yep.
But on that terrible disappointment, we got to wrap up today's show. Thank you so much for tuning on to another episode of Formula Pod. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And like, yeah, keep listening to us. And please do stay connected on our social platforms. That is Formula.pod on Instagram. And once again, thank you so much, Nella, for joining us at such a short notice. I really appreciate it and kind of putting in your seeds of wisdom.
You're welcome as always. If anybody's interested in joining a community of F1 fans where we have very interesting discussions, such as Pierre Gasly's hair, or where you can go and
Oh, yeah,
watch
trust me.
races with us, you can find us at f1club.ae on Instagram. We also have a website now, so make sure to check that out. And don't forget to pray for Ferrari tonight and every other night until something happens.
Well, like I gotta say on that on the chat part, like definitely, it's very insane. It's just that when it's a race week, and especially when it's a race, I kind of take be get it a bit difficult to kind of focus the race and focus the chats because it's going like ding, 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 ding. It goes
You
on.
need a special brand of ADHD to keep up with both at the same time. I think we should start screening for that.
I think it's not a bad idea to be very honest, but like yeah, it's just that you'll go like borderline what do you call discrimination out there? But like I think that's kind of I'm not going to give you so much more ideas. But like yeah, thank you so much, and we'll see you for the Singapore Grand Prix. Another street track, awesome one, tough track for drivers with high humidity that kind of hits drivers for losing weight up to 3 kilograms. Until then, this is the entire crew from Formula Pod, which is myself, and our guest host signing off. Goodbye and see you in Singapore.